Well, it is 2025. Naturally, Lords Mobile is not the same game that you and me, and probably everybody like me, who's been playing Lords Mobile since as early as 2016. Yeah, you just come back to Lords Mobile and you're just like, should I even care about playing this game? What on God Grades of. What are you doing? Turn it into Clash of Clans? Yeah, I am here to give you a rundown of everything I know so far, and I'm gonna just be blunt and say, what on God Green's Earth did they do to my game? Alright, so I have not one, but two accounts, right? I've been playing Lords Mobile for the last 6, 7 years tops. I mean, I don't know, a lot of you guys that have been playing, you know who I am, right? Here's all I have to say about this. Alright? The game in general, and a lot of the advice within the last 6 to 7 years is trash. Here's why. They introduced this thing called mana. You might be wondering, what exactly is this, and what in God Green's Earth did they think when they did this? God only knows. Because every day, you're going to get mana crystals, and you only get to refine 5 of these. And then get this. They turn around and tell you, okay, that's the refinement. Oh, and by the way, you can get mana still. Now you wonder, okay, well, what do I do with that? You have a mana chamber. Then you can turn around and use that to upgrade the attributes. Well, how much is the attribute? 12% of what the troop power was. So when people were like screeching from the top of their lungs and saying, whoa, 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 you don't mean to tell me that there's now a set predicament for your troops? Yeah, they added something above T5. They've now made it so that all troops can have a little bit of a stat bonus. Surprise. And so all of the people that have been trolley trapping, everybody that's been playing the game for the last couple of months or years, yeah, you all probably have picked up on this. And of course, every day you go in and you're going to have ever so many of these that you've got to use to upgrade your actual level to this new mana level. And of course, as you increase more of your mana, you'll then continuously upgrade not just your castle, but, oh yeah, that's also going to include your, castle wall, your vault, your battle hall, your altar, and those are also going to increase the stat of the actual building itself. Which is to say, now you can go from 30 to 30.3, 6, 9, and so on, right? The only time where it ever really jumps to a crazy amount that I've seen. I know all you wall trappers out there, and I'm sure you're like, huh? That means I get another 12,000? Yeah, no, it's still useless. I wish it wasn't, but nope. They don't give wall trap any love. They still don't. They've had several years to do something. They ain't giving you no love, I'm afraid. But on the surface level of things, right? All right, so you mean to tell me now that I can go to a manor and oh hey, instead of getting 20%, you're gonna get 1.2%? Really? I'm gonna go from this to that. I'm gonna go from this to that. Well, mind you, it's 1.2% of buildings, so 1% times the number of buildings you have is going to be fairly significant, right? It's a bonus all the same. But you're also going to have to use that mana every single time you proceed to upgrade. And mana is not cheap. That's the kicker. So, naturally, whenever the great wisdom that is IGG, alright, my main account, I pop about 3 mil across, and then I'm running about 6 to 7 mil at the very minimum, but 8 mil still pretty solid. But you need to have T5 in this day and era. If you're wondering, okay, what exactly does your trap account look like? Well, I am one that I would describe myself a small fish and a very big pond. Okay? Because if you guys haven't been paying attention, I got a good old buddy friend of mine who's been he's got a really nice account, and by really nice, like this is back like 5 years ago. This was your champ account. This wasn't just like the champ account. Like this is the emperor level kind of account, and he's got that sitting in his backyard that he can use at any given time. Now, yeah, Phantom Knight's going on, so naturally, anybody that's bored and wants XP, yeah, you could try to kill the damn thing. But what has been the always tried and true advice of everybody? Don't try to kill the damn thing, guys. That's not the way to do it. You're not supposed to try and kill it. What you're supposed to do, which, of course, get your monster hunting gear on and just smack the damn thing. I mean, come on. Get with the times here. Now, you might be thinking, how long have you been freaking playing this game? I've been playing this game AFK for years. I have been playing AFK for years, so while all you guys have been just chilling, doing your own thing, guys, I've been stacking chests, I've been checking speeds, and I haven't been doing jack squid for the last couple of years. And I'm not even kidding when I say this, but I'm not kicking myself for it. It's like one of the few games that you would think this is rewarding, right? To sit back, do nothing, but it's like, come on, guys. We already know the game. We've known this game for years. My honest opinion is that this is a game that has come full circle. It's realized that it's actually starting to be. There are better games around it. Let me put it that way. All right. I've been playing Whiteout Survival. I've been playing Legend of Mushroom, and honest to God, I've been playing games on Steam, and I'm not one to like fret over the RTS that is Lords Mobile, right? But even for well, it's not even an RTS really, but it's more of a pay-to-win strategy game, which is really like saying it's really a point-and-click, kill people type game. There's really not a lot to it. So whoever's wallet is bigger. It's more of a credit card warrior game. Let's be real here. But, it's like, over the years, right? I will say that one of the nice things is that you can sit here hours on end, and you can still come back to this game and still enjoy it for what it was, 4 or 5 years ago. But the expense to get to somebody's account size like this is enormous. Like, it's still way more ridiculous, I think, than it has ever been. And I'm sure some of you out there that are still new to this game or are just curious about what exactly is Lords Mobile. I've never played this game. Why do you care? What was interesting? What got you into this game? And I'm going to give you a story. So back in like 2016, I'm in college, and my cousin was like, you ought to play this mobile game. I've been playing it. It's just a fun, casual game. So, of course, naturally, I started playing it. And, I discovered there was a lack thereof of tutorials. And this is back in 2016. This is back when you didn't have open access to tutorials on how to build a rally trap. You didn't have people teaching you how to make a solo trap. You didn't have people that were telling you how to build a rally trap, how to do this. No, well, all we had back in those days, okay, is you had two groups of people. You had the people that thought they knew what was going on, and the group that had no idea, but they were willing to do anything, okay? That was Lords Mobile back in 2016. And it was an interesting time, because I look back and it's funny, but a lot of people don't realize that I can actually see the influence of cryptocurrency that it had on this game and a lot of games like it. Because back then, nobody knew it was coming in 2017, let alone in 2020, like it did. But a lot of these accounts and a lot of these super big Titan accounts, honestly, they got built by the cryptocurrency boom that ultimately allowed people to get away with basically building these ginormous accounts. And honestly, I almost, you'd almost kind of argue, like how much of that money was actually real. A lot of it wasn't, if you ask me. But all the same, It's always an exciting endeavor to go back and think about what the game was like 10, 20 years ago. I mean, mind you, there was a time when T4 was the maximum. You didn't have T5. T5 wasn't a thing. You know, the entire concept of like even having like multiple $500-$600 heroes wasn't a thing. You know, the statistical advantages that people had back then, even in starting kingdoms, is nowhere near the enormity that it is today. And even then, you know, it's like you look at like some of the heroes that I have, some of the gear I have. You know, it's built over this course of several years. But like you put any like a dollar figure on that stuff, and you genuinely will not get away with spending less than 30,000 or more to get anywhere near that. And even in an account like this, okay, there's hundreds of thousands involved in getting an account anywhere near that. And that's actually insane. Like it is I cannot put into words how insane that sounds. But it's only because I look at the cryptocurrency boom and it's like there were times when people could buy Ethereum for $600. A single Ethereum was worth $600. That same Ethereum 4 years ago is for almost 3 to 4,000 per Ethereum, and that was only 4 or 5 years ago. You know, before that was even less. You know, and so it's like, God, what a weird world that it is to come back to. Because it's, you know, there's always a part of me that I tell you guys this because I'm sure there's somebody out there like me that if you aren't checking your AppToid account and you ain't going back to your AppCoin wallet, I'm willing to bet somebody's going to discover that they've got Ethereum sitting on their account. And those guys are going to be like, kind of like the people that discover they have Bitcoin in their account. You know, like, you guys don't realize that, you know, that could be a sitting gold mine on a lot of people's accounts right now from all those years ago that, you know, what a world it is to live in, but boy, oh boy, is it interesting to think about because I knew I was there. I don't know if you guys were, but I was. And even then, you know, I see that same parallel with Solana right now, and it's just bizarre to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I still look at different games. I'm big into looking at the big picture of things, right? Which is to say, I'm really optimistic at that. You know, to say that is Lords Mobile going to continue for the next 3 or 4 years? Probably. You know, the massive up that they've made here is not really changing a whole lot in the dynamic that is this pay-to-win wallet warrior game, right? But what it has taught me is, in a very short period of time, if you think this game is taking all of your money, you really ought to stop. There are better games. There are better things to do with your money and time. And if you feel like you're an addict, take a moment to sit back and reflect on your decisions. Because let me tell you, I am one not to talk, really, because I look at it and go, yeah, been there, done that. I've been there, I've done that. But I can tell you that, you know, it's just not worth it in the grand scheme of things. And while there isn't a support group for this kind of thing, man, there are so many of you out there that I'm sure that if you've been playing the game is in any serious amount, you get caught up in the group events, you get caught up with dealing with other players, and you constantly have to meet up with the expectations of entire groups of people that you may not even really know. That, I think, is just one of those things that, you know, you just got to have some self-reflection and know importantly what you want out of the game, but also for yourself, you know? Now, that said, my main account, my alternate, are still going to be mine. The people that are like, oh, I'll buy your account. Goodbye. I ain't doing it. No way. It's mine. It'll stay mine. And I don't care if it goes to the ground. It's always going to be mine. But I will say that over the years, guys, you know, they have increased the amount of events that you have available. There's a lot of things that have changed. You know, like we have Guild Expedition. They've just changed so much. So many different things. Like even now, You get all these different skins and different items. Naturally, of course, it's motivated March, but they just have all these different avatars you can get hold of. And there's obviously, like specific events that you can go after. So you got lots of options. Now, just like as it was all those years ago, how is Phantom Knight really working out for loot? Is it actually any good? I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that I think you can kind of make an argument for it one way or the other. But one thing will always remain the same. You're going to get lots of Holy Stars. And if anybody or everybody has dumped energy into the event and has known, and will probably always know, that having a lot of Holy Stars comes in handy. I have 162,000 right now. Another 54, 52, 5. And so that's like another 81,000. But we're going to continuously stack that until we have like something north of 5 million. And then I'll do a video on it when we get there. I'm still stacking gems, as you can see. And yeah, we're in a newish kingdom, so I will probably start uploading anytime we actually start wiping accounts out. Right now, the kingdom we're in, we've got a lot of guys that are packing 4 to 5 million T4. So when we start wiping accounts, they're going to be massive zeros, guys. And we're not going to be playing any games with that. But like anything, all of that takes a lot of resources, a lot of troops, and there's a big expenditure to achieve that. But honestly, with accounts like this, I honestly think that we could probably pull that off. I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in, but for those of you that have been playing the game for a number of years and you're interested in that kind of content, I'd love to hear in the comment section below how many of you are still playing Lords Mobile in 2025. That said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.